Start date 8/25/2017. Roland from MinMax Media. And I'm doing an impromptu broadcast here or webcast. I'm not expecting anyone to drop in, although they might. I'm not totally inaccessible. But this is just a brief video to preempt that we're going to have no Saturday morning marketing Smarties this week. And one of the reasons is that the week has been very challenging. And I know I get criticism for this, but people tell me when they analyze my channel and my station and my website, they say, you should do this, you should do that, you should fix this, or you should fix that. But ultimately, I only have a certain amount of time to spend doing this. So I do what I can, and I accept the criticism. But as far as the knowledge of what I know and guiding other people to do what I don't necessarily have time to do myself, that's part of what I'm planning on teaching with the MinMax Media presentation on DIY live streaming show.com and the series that we're producing. And that's part of what the contest is that I'm having, and we'll see how that all turns out. But there's been something on my mind incessantly for the last year or so. And that is the concept of the definition of the word authentic. So we'll get to that for a second. But back to the Saturday show. We're going to take the Saturday Smarties event off just because it's a lot of energy to produce it, and I'm a little below my normal energy. So I'm going to do a 15-minute stint here. It's probably going to turn into a half an hour, but I plan on 15 minutes or so to discuss what it is I've been working on, almost like by myself, and then also a couple things that I'm thinking of. And if anyone does happen to watch this video and engage in the concept, then I'd appreciate your feedback. And two things. Give me a comment regarding what it is I'm talking about. And number two, let me know if you watched this to the very end, because I'm curious to know whether you actually sat there and this was engaging enough to keep you to the end. Because I'm going to be talking about stuff that not everyone is involved with. So anyway, Saturday's off, and I'll be back sometime the following week. Let's see, 2 weeks for sure. We have an interview, if all goes as planned, with Ben Hunt. And Ben is one of my heroes. He writes what he thinks. He tells it like it is. He's a straight shooter. And I'll be really enjoying having a conversation with a guy that doesn't pull punches, but just expresses himself, you know, what he feels and what he believes. And that'll be a refreshing experience. That goes along with the concept that too many people are trying to please others. And that's part of the underlying theme of what's on my mind today. Because if you're doing something to please others, if you're doing something to get more hits on your YouTube channel, I understand that. But that's more of an entertainment thing, and like the challenge of getting people to watch, getting, you know, conversion clicks, getting some sales on your affiliate marketing. If that's the goal, then I don't have any problem with that. But that's seldom my goal. One thing that Bill Graham says is, and I'll never get this exactly right, but what you do is you speak because you have something to say. You don't say something because you have to speak. In other words, know what you're trying to deliver and talk for a reason. Don't just get on a video or an audio and recording because you have to put in 30 minutes today. And so when I don't have anything to say, if I just don't feel into it, then I don't have a Saturday show. And luckily, the format is such that I can do that, and especially right now. Oh, there is a viewer too, but luckily I don't have the kind of a concept where I have to actually come across and broadcast a certain thing a certain number of days. Nobody is sponsoring me, and I'm not worried about whether or not anyone's disappointed in the presentation or not. It just ultimately doesn't matter. Let's see. So it's kind of cool in my VCP plugin. My son Kyle came up with a nice tutorial on how to use it. So that's part of what's going on with that. Anyway, there were a few things that I've been dealing with. And here is the word that's been the phrase, the catchphrase, the term, the search term, the concept of what I've been dealing with. And that is possibly the most challenging issue in live video today. And that is the word authenticity. Authentic. Because everybody's using the term, how to be authentic. I just read an article, 4 ways to be more authentic. Well, if you're partially non-authentic, you got a problem. And the reason I say this is that whatever you are, whether you're entertaining, you're not entertaining, you're boring, whether you're educational, whatever it is, you've got to be authentic. You've got to be your real self. Otherwise, you're not believable, and people will get the sense of that. So I read this article, and the article said to do these 4 things. Be keenly aware, self-aware. To be keenly self-aware. Now, I doubt that most people know what that even means, so that's 1 down. Find genuine connections. I think what they meant by that was when you meet somebody, find out exactly what the overlap is between you and them. In other words, oh, my son and your daughter both play soccer. Connection. Oh, let's see. We are both in the internet marketing game. Connection. We both drink coffee at Starbucks. Connection. And that's what they're talking about. But to me, it leaves me puzzled because a genuine connection to me, I have a genuine connection with some people, and we have very little in common. But I know their intentions. I know what their heart says, and that's more of a connection than the Starbucks and the kids' teams and all that crap. So I question whether when you write a thing like that, find genuine connections. To me, that's a little bit, well, it's just not deep enough. Now, this one I agree with. Their number 3 point was, don't be perfect. Now, it isn't that you don't want to be perfect or you try not to be perfect, but I interpret this as saying good enough is good enough. And that's part of what the min-max philosophy is. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be good enough to get your point across, deliver a good service or product, and deliver to people what you say you are going to deliver. So deliver what you say you're going to deliver. And the 4th one is pretty cool, but I don't think that people really are able to do this. And then the 4th point was be present. And so, when you're visiting with someone and they're typing away on a phone, it's like, hi, how you doing? Oh, yeah, what's going on? And they're looking at their phone and tapping a few things, and they're distracted. But even if they don't have a phone, if you can tell if someone's distracted or just doesn't want to be there. And in my opinion, it's like, hey, I know you got things to do, so I'll set you free. I want them out of my life and down the road, not from any vindictive slant. But I mean, if they've got things to do and they've got business to attend to, I want to set them free to go do that. And I want to be free to do what I'm going to do. So be present, yes, but if after you're there and after you've given it the necessary due, let people go and do their thing. So I'm all for being present. And if you're going to be present, listen to people, have some eye contact, let them know you're actually hearing them. and you're part of what's going on with the conversation between the two of you. Part of this is stemming on coming back to the definition of authentic, and I love Teresa de Grosbois, her statement in her TED talk, which if you just, well, nobody can spell her name probably. Last name is, well, first of all, Teresa with no H, Teresa, and her last name is de Grosbois. So it's DE capital BOIS. No, capital DE capital GROSBOIS. So it looks like de Gros Boys, but it's de Grosbois, French. So if you look that up and you look on and you add the word authenticity behind that, her video will come up and she'll talk about some various things, but she delivers the concept of what authenticity is. And basically it was like along the lines of this. Where'd I put it? Okay, got to give it to you straight from the quotation and not what's off the top of my head. It's coming. I know it. It's here. Well, this is okay, here it is. This is my completed kind of like paraphrased version of what she delivers in the TED Talk. The definition of authenticity, or being authentic. What you think and what you say and do are the same. So you're not modifying what you think and what you're saying so that the people will deliver or receive what you're saying to be influenced the way you want to get some kind of an ulterior job done. And sometimes it's called manipulation, right? And to me, manipulation is an injustice to you and the person, because basically you're trying to get some job done and in disregard to what the people feel. But if you're being genuine, you're expressing what you think by as accurate words and actions as you can. So what you think and do are the same as what you say and do are the same as what you think. And that's some of the main properties of being authentic. So I love the start of that. And these other things, being keenly aware of yourself, self-aware, finding genuine connections, don't be perfect, be present. These are all principles surrounding the concept of being authentic. But if you're being authentic, all those things should come naturally. So one of the things with being authentic is if you are authentic, then you also have to do certain things corresponding to that authenticity. And part of it is you do what you say and you follow up. And the proof of this is just really exciting, actually, because I got a letter, or that is an email from Teresa de Grosbois, just asking me how I'm doing. Now, she is business-wise so far in a different place than I am. She goes and speaks to hundreds of people every week, or this is the impression that I have. She's involved in several organizations. They have her speak, and she delivers her message to hundreds and maybe thousands of people. So her sphere of influence is pretty dang large, and it's growing. But she's worked at it. She's good at it. She is a great speaker. She carries herself well. She is vocally very efficient. But the thing is, when she's talking, she means every word that she says. She didn't have to make something up to influence you because what she says is pretty dang good. But the fact that she sent me an email asking me what's going on, I don't get automatic emails every week from her. I do get occasional emails from her. But Teresa de Grosbois sent me a personal email, not attached to a mailing list or anything else. She sent me an email. To me, I'm impressed. And I'm going to send her a big letter back telling her about what's going on in my life right now because I'm excited about what's going on. But I was impressed with Teresa. If she's being genuine, that's how I feel about her. And then she contacts me. I'm feeling the influence of her influence because she's shared my name with people. She's gone to the point of endorsing me to a couple people and introducing me. And to me, she's following up this very wonderful strategy that she lives by, and that is that if you want to grow in influence, you give influence. If you want to grow in popularity, you help someone else be popular. You spread the word for other people. And that's in direct correlation to what Zig Ziglar says. We can have everything that we want in this life if we will just help enough other people get what they want. He didn't say, do it to other people because then you'll get something back. He said, you'll have everything you want. Just focus on helping other people get what they want. Now, that's a very clear and concise principle to me. And the reason that I know that it doesn't work for some people, because when they think about that, it's like I'll go out and help people. It's always in the back of their minds. I'm helping them so that I can gain. I'm helping them so that I can gain. And there's a flaw in that thinking. It's a vibrational flaw. And if you go about it like that, you're basically tainting the actual purity of the fact that you're giving and helping someone else. You're not doing it for no reason. You're not doing it from the good of your heart or your feelings or your intentions. You're doing it to gain something. That's not giving. So we'll want to keep that in mind all the time. And basically what I've been contemplating this week is what I'm going to be giving away in the contest that I have devised. And by the way, if anyone watching this video is in YouTube, let me see. I'll take just a moment here and go observe. Oh, there's Andrew. I'll say hi to Andrew. And thanks for watching, Andrew. And anyway, the concept basically revolves around the expression of oneself through authenticity. I kind of wrote down a couple of theory thoughts regarding all this. And the whole thing revolves around this concept of what goes around comes around. And what we get back what we give. And the thing flows from this. It's in the, and this is what Teresa said, it's in the act of giving influence to another person that you become more influential. Not because someone does something as a result of you giving. Simply by giving influence to the other, you become more influential. Now, that's hard to figure because most people are all thinking all the time, what's my return on investment? How do I gain from this? And I say, you don't realize what's happening in the universe. But the people around you who receive something and benefit from what you deliver, you've already grown. And what you don't see is a positive wave of influence that goes out from the universe through you and through that person too that you helped, and it's expanding outward. And the influence of that, when that happens, you're actually setting out in the vibration into the universe that affects people and gets them to look your way. Now, I know that sounds mystical and magical, but I believe it 100%. So we can talk about that if you ever want. But here's what I extrapolated out as part of the theory of it all. And I'm actually pretty impressed. There are 5 people watching from apparently somewhere. So thank you for watching. I'd appreciate it if you post who you are or if it makes any difference to you. If it doesn't, I'm just glad you're watching. So thank you. Okay, the concept of what goes around comes around, and the spirit of that vibration. If we always give with an attached motive of receiving something in return, how can we expect anything different from anybody else? In other words, we're always complaining every day. Oh yeah, I don't like to go to webinars anymore because they always try to sell you something at the end. Or I don't like talking to so-and-so. He's always trying to get something from me, or he always trying to sell me his product. So we know the vibe of that. We know the people who turn us off by always thinking about themselves and not really caring who in the heck you are. So that's the thing. And as I wrote it here, is if we always give with an if we always give with an attached motive of receiving something in return, how can we expect anything different from anybody else? So that's the first half. And the second half was, if we start experiencing more abundance of unexpected gifts in life, then if we want to start experiencing more abundance of unexpected gifts in life, then we have to start giving without attachments to returns. And that's the fundamental base principle of give to get. And the concept is you will get regardless. That's the law of the universe. What goes around comes around. So if you were expanding into the universe, giving to people, the universe, regardless if it's the same person or different people, but the nature of the universe is we get ours. We get ours back. And it comes back around. If we don't limit what we do by directing the energy with greediness or trying to attain something ourselves and tainting the act of giving, it's all going to come back around to us. And the quicker we give freely and purely, the quicker we receive. Now, people are going to hear that and say, that's a crock of bullshit, Roland. And then other people are going to say, yes, it's true. And I would really like to know, if you are listening, there are apparently 6 people watching. I would like to know what you think. And I know what Andrew thinks because he's a giver. And all he does is give without a price tag. So there are those out there that do this, and we receive something in return for what we do in our attitudes. But I just want to know what the general consensus is and whether people agree or not. Because essentially, as I go forward, I would imagine the people that agree with this principle will be my steadfast followers and fans, the people who watch my show on these ongoing weeks. And the people who disagree with that concept, I'm sure will drop off. And it's perfectly fine with me. I'm not attached to the concept of, oh, gee, you're going to hurt my feelings if you don't watch past this moment. I'm okay with that. But it'll be really good to know whether there's some sense of maybe Roland's onto something. Maybe he's telling the truth. Maybe I kind of agree with him. And if I've even got a little bit of a handle with you, then I would like to know what that is. So thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video very shortly. Let me know if you got to this point where I made the big point about Zig Ziglar and what goes around comes around. It'll be interesting to know. And I noticed that we did lose one person, but we might have lost because they didn't have any more time, or wasn't a good timing for them, or whatever. But if you do make comments, either on my website or in YouTube, I'd appreciate it. And thank you very much. And once again, we're not going to have a Saturday show this week, but 2 weeks from now will be the Ben Hunt interview, and I'm really looking forward to that. And the following week in between, I'm not sure what the subject is yet, but we'll have something for you. So anyway, that's all for now from Roland, MinMax Media, and a Friday Gab session vlog for Marketing Smarties. And thank you very much. And we'll see you folks soon, okay? Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now. Have a great weekend.